Go. Alright, but let's hop into the game. Whoa, music? Never mind, there's no music. Hehehe. We're gonna do advanced questions last, unit 1. Okay, let's see how much I know. Okay. Which of the following best describes the political structure of the Song dynasty in China? A. Decentralized feudal. We're not gonna read all of that. This is definitely B. Yeah, Islamic Golden Age is best associated with Islamic. This would be. It's not A. So it's not Constantinople. The Islamic Golden Age. Can't be Baghdad. Probably is. Yeah, it's Baghdad. Which philosophy was most influential in shaping Chinese governance during the Song dynasty? This is a doubt. What? No? Okay, then it's Confucianism. Confucianism? So we're not gonna go for it. Which of the following statements best describe the role of women in Song China? B. Yeah. The Delhi Sultanate in India was established by which group? Turkish Muslims, because Sultan and the Delhi. Which empire is most associated with the Mansa Musa? With Mansa Musa and his famous pilgrimage to Mecca. So it's not Songhai Empire. It has to be Mali then. Oh, it is Mali. In feudal, this is easy. Shogun, Japan. Which was one major way Islamic empires helped preserve and expand knowledge in the post-classical era? So what we're looking for is Islamic empires in the preservance of the knowledge. So this is gonna be fine. This is definitely it's B because translating the Greek and Roman to their language. Yeah. What is the significance of the tribute system in China? Not B, because Chinese. C. Foreign or whatever. Okay, which of the following contributed most to the cultural unity of the Islamic world between 1200 and 1450? Widespread use of Arabic shared religious beliefs, because this unit 1 is focused on expansion of religion or the influence of religion in culture. The feudal system in medieval Europe was characterized by a hierarchy of lords, vassals, and serfs based on land ownership, because that's what feudalism is. Or the feudal system. You have the kings, then you have the bourgeoisies. Oh, that's in like, yeah. Well, that's like third tier. And then, I forgot. Oh yeah, you have the lords. So it goes kings, lords, bourgeoisie, and then serfs. Which religions spread along the Silk Roads and deeply influenced the East and Central? This is Buddhism. No doubt about it. In what way did the Confucian service exams impact Chinese society during the Song dynasty? Since it's on civil service exams, it's gonna be on education, cause they want to be smart, I guess. No, that's not the real reason. Okay, the Bhakti movement in South Asia emphasized. So it's not gonna be rituals. Wait, personal devotion to a deity over caste or ritual sacrifice and strict caste rules. So it's definitely over caste or ritual, since it's the Bhakti movement, not it. Which factor helped the spread of Islam in West Africa during this period? Uh, so naval conquest isn't until later, so trade with North African merchants. The Inca Empire was able to unify a large territory through Inca, so roads and mixed labor system. Caste-based religious system is going to be in Europe. More like I think Eastern or yeah, Eastern. Wait, no, it's Western Europe. Which empire is known for its use of chinampas, floating gardens, and a powerful military class? This is going to be the Aztec Empire, because I got that wrong last time I played this. Confucianism, the system of ethics. Okay, you guys can read that. You can pause, filial piety. Confucianism, a virtue of respect of one partner's elders and ancestors. So you're going to see that in Asia. Imperial bureaucracy. Yeah, cool. Neo-Confucianism. Ah, yeah, that's cool too. Grand Canal. You Mayans, okay. Great. Zimbabwe. Like that could be decentralized. I need to study for this. Feudalism. Yeah. Beliefism. So that's religion stuff. Technology. So we're gonna focus on gunpowder, paper printing, champa rice. Champa rice from China. Easily producible. Daryalism, those are text. Incas, text, okay, that's all we need to learn. And then we got the dynasties. Daryalism, Abbasid, or Abbasid, Caliphate, Delhi Sultanate, Muslim, get the Rajput, Great Zimbabwe, feudalism, woohoo! See, Holy Empire, yeah, they're Christian. The Americas, okay, we don't. And then we have the trade. Okay, now we're gonna go to Unit 2! Yay! I don't know much about. Okay, which innovation helped improve, this is gonna be the print. No, paper. Improve long distance trade along. I don't think the printing press isn't until later, right? I'm pretty sure. Yeah. The Mongol Empire facilitated trade across Eurasia primarily by. Oh, this is through creating. No, wait. A period of political stability and safety. I don't remember them making a navy, since they're on the foot and Silk Roads is connected from east, east, Asia, no, Eastern Europe to South Asia. My bad. Which of the following trade networks was most dependent on monsoon wind patterns? This is going to be the Indian Ocean trade, since that has to do with monsoon wind patterns, which is more of like seas around like around Eastern Asia, no, Southeastern Asia. Yeah, the Sicily coast became an important part of the Indian Ocean trade network due to uh gold. Yeah, this area is this area Swahili. This area is around 13th century, so we're going to be trading gold, ivory, many things that are considered valuable, silks, uh, whatever those texture thingies are. You know what I'm talking about. Which empire played a major role in reviving and protecting trade along the Silk Roads in the 13th and blank century? Because that's supposed to say something, right? Yeah. So there's gonna be So since Genghis Khan's control of the Mongol Empire, they strike fear into people. Cause if you like, imagine if you're like a thief who stole an apple and you're like in the Mongol territory, you're not gonna be let off. You'll probably like get killed for it. That's how bad. So they strike fear, making the Silk Road safer. Diasporic unit, diasporic communities formed in port cities across the Indian Ocean due to merchants. So this is a the Silk Road is going to be a road line of merchants and trade. Which of the following was a major effect of the Black Death in Eurasia? Uh, decreased labor supply since like 1/3 of the population dies in Europe. Which trade route primarily transported salt, gold, and slave people across desert terrain? So Silk Road is not going to lead into the desert. It's going to be trans-Saharan. Saharan being a part of Sahara being a part of Africa. Okay, which of the following helped to spread Islam along trade routes during this period? It's gonna be merchants. European missionaries are like they'll be spreading or trying to spread and influence Christianity. Which city became a major? This is gonna be some mark can because I got this wrong too last time. Major hub. Okay, we have these notes. 2 wins. Maritime trade. Italian cities. Hanseatic League, a confederation of merchants guilds dominated trade in the Baltic Sea and Northern Europe. Okay, so which of the following best explains how the Mongols contributed to the growth of trade across Eurasia? So this is going to be something about security. So this is going to say which of the following regions was directly ruled by Yuan Dynasty. Ooh, I don't know this one. It's definitely not see. A branch of the Mongol Empire. Uh, so this is going to be part of Mongol. This is going to be China. China's a big piece of the earth. The Mongol Empire was unique in world history because it did not. Unified almost all. Well, it almost did. It is the largest based empire since it took all of the Asia. I'm pretty sure. Which of the following was a major cultural result of Mongol rule in China? This is gonna be D since foreign exams. China. Later on, China introduces several civil exams to decide whether you move in society, if you get a good job or not. Why were the Mongols largely unsuccessful in their invasions of Japan and Southeast Asia? The navy was superior, but their army was small. No, this is gonna be a typhoons. It was just typhoons or kamikaze. Which of the following best describe Mongol religious policies across their empire? They enforced state-sponsored Buddhism. They allowed religious. Yeah. So the Mongol Empire, they're like big and bad, right? But they're gonna let religion slide because they don't care what religion you celebrate. They respect it. Caravanserai or rest station for caravans on the Silk Road, about 100 miles per. So those are like resting areas along the Silk Road, traveling. Silk Road carrying many religions. One big religion being Buddhism. Hanseatic League again. Woohoo! Genghis Khan, the general or the ruler of the Mongol Empire, killed like a lot of the population. back then. What role did the currency play in facilitating transcontinental trade across the Silk Roads? They function as lodging supplies for merchants since it's a trade, and trade is safe during this time because of the Mongol Empire. Which of the following best explains why luxury goods dominated long-distance trade routes like the Silk Roads? Well, they're high in value. They're not mass-produced like today's world. One key similarity between the Silk Roads and Indian Ocean trade routes was they both facilitated religions or cultural practices. Like I said, this is the diffusion. I don't think diffusion. No, diffusion of religions and cultures. How did the diffusion of technologies like the astrolabe and magnetic compass affect maritime trade? So they allow for more retaliable open sea navigations. They did not help because these are like navigation tools, not a travel method. The city of Timbuktu in West Africa became an important center of Timbuktu being a West Africa Islamic scholarship and trade. They're not going to be the Mongols. Mongols are mostly in Asia and Europe. When we're done with that unit. So we're not going to be doing unit 3, 4, 5, 6 because we don't have that much time. We're going to go skip to 7, 8, skip 9, and go to the advanced questions. What was the key long-term cause of World War I? The systematic alliance among no. Ooh, had to check. So system of entangling alliance among European powers. So started it also Hungarian. Uh, I forgot the name, but the leader guy, yeah, he gets assassinated and blames Serbia for it. Which starts the war there. Germany joins in, and then bigger powers join in because of alliances. Which of the following best describes the concept of total war? Okay, so this is gonna be this one because there's not the system of entangling alliance among European powers. Total war is like all parties involved. For a better definition, that means everyone's involved. The civilians, the people who are fighting the war, the whole world is affected. One major reason the Russian people supported the 1917 Bolshevik Revolution was that the Bolsheviks promised to redistribute land, and because people want land. Which of the following was a major consequence of the Treaty of Versailles? Highest reparations imposed on Germany since they blamed, well, the French blamed Germany, and they were the only standing nation. And with the Great Depression coming in, their economy's not going to do well. And this is going to make the Germans mad, blame it on the Jews, and then boom, World War II. Yay! Not yay. My bad on that part, but like, it's very unexpected. Which was a defining characteristic of fascist regimes in the early 20th century. Advocacy for global communism and work control, emphasis on cultural nationalism, the authoritarian. It's going to be nationalism. Think of today. Most, well, back in like 2018, most, like the USA, like an super nationalist. Not, okay, we're not nationalists, but we kind of are. Because we give pride in what we are as a nation. Okay, so which common goal in the United many colonial movements in Asia and Africa during the interwar period. Pursuit of political power and independence and self-determination, anti-colonial movements, self-determination, Japan, Germany, Italy, for some reason, because they're very authoritarian. No, fascist. They're very fascist. Fascinated with Ethiopia, the only Christian country in Africa, or one of them. Which common goal united many anti-colonial movements in Asia and Africa during the interwar period? Pursuit of political independence and self-determination, because freaking guy named Douglas, General, or I think General McDouglas something. Yeah, he raids Japan and like says force with me or trade with me or I force you to do stuff or I colonize you. Not colonize. Like that stuff. World War One began with Archduke Franz Ferdinand. Ended with the Treaty of Versailles, led to establishment. The Great Depression caused widespread economic hardship and political instability. Stock market crashed, making banks useless. Yeah, people started trying to take out their money, but banks cannot provide. World War II started with Germany's invasion of Poland. Yeah, there was yeah, greater powers just like let Germany win. Because Hitler tried taking power at first. He gets arrested, comes back. He's like, okay, I'm be good. And then like he's not, because he wrote everything he would do in Mein Kampf. Cold War, decolonization, fall of the Berlin Wall. This is the symbolize the end of Cold War and collapse of communist regimes. So the fall of Berlin Wall is and then 9/11. We all know that. Which of the following was a defining feature of World War I combat, trench warfare, and use of chemical weapons? Lack of involvement from major powers. Yeah, major powers because of we'll let them take these territories. It might calm them down. No, it gives them more territory power and territorial aggression. Which countries primarily supported North and South Korea during the Korean War? It's gonna be Soviet Union, United States, cause the Cold War and they don't like each other. This Cold War happens after World War II. Guerrilla warfare, cause guerrilla warfare means knowing your territory. You're using the landscape to your advantage. Which of the following tactics during the Vietnam War had severe environmental consequences? The use of Ancient Orange and napalm. I have no idea what that is. I'm pretty sure it's chemicals. The Six Day War in 1967 and the Yom Kippur War in 1973 were key events in the collapse of the Ottoman. No, they're not. It's the conflict between Israel and its Arab neighbors. Ottoman Empire doesn't happen until... Wait, no, it happens near the 19th century, but... Okay, Woodward Wilson, yep. That's, League of Nations would fail later. Vladimir Lenin, key in Soviet shaping communists. Adolf Hitler, yeah, Nazi Germany. How did the new weapons introduce? They increased the skill of deadliness. So this is where the maximum machine gun comes in. Poison gas. Canada would develop the first gas mask with collapse and P. Which technology advancement revolutionized? Okay, so there's gonna be aerial combat, jet aircraft, and guided missiles. We don't have that in the 19th century. We started building that around 1980 through 2000s, or 2010s, which was a major consequence of the use of atomic bombs in World War II. So this is gonna start the beginning of the space race, Cold War. So Sputnik's gonna be... Russia gets the first probe. And then, since it's the first ever probe, that's, it orbits near the USA. Russia does it on purpose. So, and then, it's not Neil Armstrong. He's first man on the moon. Buzz Aldrin, John Glenn, those are like white names. Russia's gonna be the first nation, first country to send the first person in space. It's gonna be Yuri Gagarin. What was the main goal of the Green Revolution? No idea. B? Yeah. To improve agricultural output in developing countries. Which of the following best describe the global impact of the internet and mobile phone technology? This is gonna have easier access for sharing cultures, information, yeah, stuff. Collapse of the Ottoman Empire after World War One. I was close. Led to the redrawing of borders in Middle East. Oh yeah, since Big Three, right? And European states, power and countries, leaders, they would go to this conference. I don't remember the conference, not the Yalta. Rise of the United States proxy wars. Okay, so they would go to this conference. They would divide it, and this would start religious problems. In today's world, we have who is it? I don't know. Palestine and I forgot. Is Israel? No, not Israel. Soviet. Well, we have that war because of religious aggression. Collapse of the Soviet Union. Yeah, collapse of the Soviet Union would end after the Cold War. Things like, I want to say, so let's start with the Soviet Union invading Afghanistan. Afghanistan being, well, they have aggression towards the U.S., but the Soviet Union goes and raids? I don't want to say raids, but they raid them, help them for their communist things. This would backfire with Afghanistan mercenaries and other supporting forces supported by the U.S., which would and in their started invasion of Afghanistan, it would take a decade for them to get back out. And then America would get their ass beaten. What was the main goal of civil rights movements such as the African American movement in the United States? It was to challenge racial discrimination, promoting social justice, since it's with African American movement. Yeah, that's Unit 7. So Unit 8's gonna be 1900s to modern times. Unit 9, 1900s today. We're just gonna be doing Unit. We'll do the Unit 9. This period's of blah blah blah. We're just gonna be. And like I was going on before, so we're talking about the Soviet Union. Soviet Union. Soviet Union. After that is, what was it? Okay, both has facilitated the growth of trade in the modern area. Tariffs and trade restrictions. Definitely that. Cultural diffusion. key goal of economic liberalization to impose strict regulations on global markets and to reduce control over trade and investments. Why do companies often engage in outsourcing to eliminate global connections, benefit low labor costs? Outsourcing meaning you just go find people from like Asia, Africa, work for cheap, signing contracts. What does a global financial system primarily facilitate? Capital, not cultural change. This the United States will be the first to land people on the moon. Wasn't one primary goal of institutions like the United Nations, World Bank, and IMF after World War II to promote global empires, create military alliances, encourage both cooperation and economic stability, or to enforce colonial rule? UI navigation. The Marshall Plan aimed to. So this is going to be assisting Western Europe after, well, made in World War II, but still providing weapons for Western Europe. Financial aid from U.S. This is all from U.S. to Europe. What was the major feature of the Bretton Woods system? Shoot. US dollar became the global reserve currency, so I guess Bretton Woods. Yeah. Newly independent nations in the 1960s and 70s often used ISI policies to. I have no idea what this is. Carriage markets. Ooh, I typed over the slash. But it's not C. D. Promote domestic industries and reduce foreign dependence. Nuclear weapons were okay. It's gonna be a part of the Orange Race. First thing that Soviet and USA does. This is also gonna be a free market reform, privatization, and trade liberalization. What global crisis emphasized the deep interconnectivity of the modern world? COVID-19. Because this is the modern world. What is a key result of trade liberalization? Fuck. Bleep that out. Greater global trade and volumes and economic. I do not know much about liberalization, and I need to. Why do companies engage in foreign direct investment? To establish production and access new markets abroad, quotas to reduce. Nope, we don't anything but to do with global competition. How has global supply chains changed due to globalization? Okay. No, they are multinational countries. That's the thing. They are fragmented across countries to lower costs, like fast food chains. McDonald's, like outsourcing is mainly used to by companies to reduce labor costs. Yeah, that's funding foreign people and making them sign contracts by force, parentheses, force and parentheses. No, quotations. Which of the following is a feature of the financial globalization? Elimination of financial instruments, growth of international banking and capital flow. The risk of economic independence is the vulnerability to global economic crises. Which of the following is a criticism of globalization regarding income? It has worsened income inequality in some places. The rise of the BRICS countries has led to the deindustrialization in the global south, shifted global economic powers, increased resource competition. That is true. Or the right portal, which concern arises from the global spread of Western culture and brands. Increased cultural diversity. Oh my god, bro. Like I said, I do not know much about So let's redo this. So it's gonna be cultural homogenization and loss of local traditions, but local social media, global blah blah blah. Rid of that. 1950s revolutionized global shipping, ICTs. What has been the major impact of international organizations like UN, World Bank, and IMF? Encouragement of law? No, nothing to do with the military. This is the economy. The creation of trade blocs like the EU, NAFTA, and ASEAN has mainly led to economic integration and political coalition amongst member states. What was one key development in global politics after the Cold War ended? Uh, Optimism about global cooperation, global value restrictions. China European Union as a model of integration. The EU has created a single market, a common currency, the euro, promoting economic and political cooperation among its member states. The North American Free Trade Agreement, or NAFTA, created a free trade zone between the United States, Canada, and Mexico, promoting economic integration but also leading to job losses and economic dislocation. Communist Manifesto, a social manifesto written by Marx and Engels, Karl Marx, 1848, describing the history of working class movement according to law. He is Marxist, communism, that's the thing. So we're actually gonna skip get 9. We'll do that in another video. Advanced questions. Yay! These are actual practice exams that are more advanced. To the holy to the most holy father, the Pope. Most of our kingdom of Hungary was reduced to a desert by the scourge of. So pause the video here. Yep, I actually gotta go through this. But it would help. And that's it for this video 45, and I'll do unit 4, 5, 6, and 9. Did I do unit 3? Did I skip it? Yes, I did skip it. So we'll do unit 3, 4, with 45 subs. 50 is unit 5, 6, and 9. Well, better so hit the subscribe button and like, please. And that's it for this video. Yeah, thanks to Philo where most of these notes came from. Creator, running girl. Yep, and that's it.